Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my review for The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 6, which is titled, Who Are You Now? This episode was phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. It was probably one of my favorite non-action episodes because, most of my favorite episodes, most people's favorite episodes are the more action-packed ones, the bigger scale ones that have insane action sequences, bunch of character deaths, or one character death in particular. This episode didn't really have any of that. They did have a few character deaths, but they didn't have like action or anything. It wasn't action-packed. It wasn't insane, high stakes on the line. But it was still really, really good. And I think what really made it so good was the fact that it felt so new to us. Now, I'm not one person to think we need change and everything. I'm not one person to say we need innovation. The Walking Dead's the same every year. People always say stuff like that. They say it's repetitive. I'm not one to complain about that. But it is still nice to see something completely different from anything we've ever seen before. And since they did a 6-year time skip, we were able to see these characters in completely different places than what they were just last episode, which was literally a week ago. But for them, it was 6 years. So I really like that in particular, the fact that we can kind of catch up with these characters, especially seeing a lot of the younger characters age, like Gracie, Judith, even, what's his name, RJ now, which obviously we didn't see him particularly before, but we do now see RJ. I really did not think they were going to do a Rochon baby, which I'm pretty happy they did. Not because, I absolutely needed it or anything, but it just is nice to have more kids around because if you understand what they're trying to do, when they introduce more kids into this show, they have as many kids as possible, it just increases the longevity of the series. That's what they do with Star Wars. That's what they're doing with The Walking Dead. Star Wars introduced, other characters with the Force, I believe, at the end of The Last Jedi. And that's just to show that this is going to be a long-lasting series. Introducing kids and having a ton of kids around in The Walking Dead shows that these kids are going to take over the show in like 10 to 20 years. Because obviously these other characters, they can't stay on forever. We just saw Rick didn't stay on forever. He had to leave. Obviously, he will come back in some way, shape, or form, whether it be still in the movie, or I don't know I don't think he's gonna return. I don't know. People say he's definitely not returning to the show because he said so, but actors say they're not gonna return and they end up doing it anyways all the time. Look at Harrison Ford. He said he was not doing another Star Wars movie ever. He said that in so many interviews, and then he did Episode 7. If the money's right, the actor will come back. I think Andrew Lincoln, I think he will come back. I don't think he needs to be persuaded with a lot of money. I just think he doesn't want to promise anything, so he's just saying I'm not returning. Obviously he's doing the movies, but I think possibly even for like after the movies he might return just for a few seasons, and then maybe they'll kill him off in like an actual sort of a way, you know what I'm saying? So I like that whole idea. But I also liked seeing the other characters age, which obviously they didn't really age in real life. Oh, I forgot about Henry looks badass. I love Henry already. I mean, look, I'm a huge fan of Comic Carl, alright? And I was really sad when Carl died because I really wanted to see Comic Carl TV Carl turn into Comic Carl. And I was really excited for that, but when they killed him off, I was really pissed. I'm going to be honest. But then I started to accept it as time went on. I'm like, okay, Judith, she'll probably be older. Maybe she can take some of the plot line. Maybe Enid can. Hell, I don't know. They can give it to really anyone if they need to. But I did not think about Henry. I really didn't. And I have something really interesting, insanely interesting to point out that I don't think I've seen anyone else point out. But in episode 9 of season 8, the episode when Carl died, at the very end, when Henry stabbed Gavin in the throat, the score that was playing, like the song, like the background music, was Carl's theme song. Carl has his own theme song. We all know what Carl's theme song is, right? It played it during Laurie's death. It played a little bit during episode 8 of season 8, and that theme song played, but it was the same except for the last note. So it was like, I'll play it here just so you guys can hear it, but it started to play. Actually, I'm not gonna play it here. I'm gonna do a separate video explaining this in another one. So watch that for later this week, probably tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I'm not gonna do it now just because I have really backed up on time right now. I really have to rush this out. But the song that was playing, the last note of it was deeper than what Carl's, because the last note of Carl's theme song was a high note, right? This one was a deep note. So I always was thinking maybe they were going to actually make Henry like Carl, but in a darker, deeper way, because it was a deeper note rather than the higher note that was, that can be nothing. It could literally just be a coincidence. I don't know. I'm just going to make a video on it anyways because I thought it was pretty cool and interesting to talk about. But Henry, so far, I like him. I like the actor. I think he does a way better job than the Henry did from the last season and season 7 as well. Not that he was a bad actor. I'm just saying it. I don't know. He's kind of cringy a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's just how they've written the character. But I'm liking Matthew Lintz as Henry, and I'm really excited to see his sort of comic Carl arc with Lydia, with being a blacksmith, with possibly getting a good friendship with Enid, and kind of having a Carl-Sophia dynamic where, I mean, Enid is a little older than Henry, though. I'm assuming Enid's like, damn, Enid must be old now, because I don't know how old she was in season 8. I mean, just from her looks, I mean, she's at least 16 or 17. So she, in theory, should be like 22 or 21 or something. She should be a lot older in this season. We have not seen her yet. But I don't know how they're going to make her age. And now I'm thinking about it. How the hell are they going to make her age? They're going to have to explain that, because that's weird. I mean, maybe she was like 14 and they just, obviously the actress was not 14. The actress was like 18 in season 8, but they're probably just going to play it off saying she was 14, just like they kind of played off saying Carl was like really young still, even though he was clearly 18, but he was really like 14 in the show's term. But they're probably going to do something like that, so they'll say Enid was like 20 something like that. So I guess she's probably going to be 20 maybe, because maybe they'll say she was 14, so now she's 20. So that's like 2 years older than Henry, I guess, maybe. I don't know. They gotta like do something to make her look older. I'm sure they will. They did a great job making everyone else look older. Anyways, I'm getting on a tangent here. We had Judith, awesome this episode. She was amazing. I loved her talk with Negan. Absolutely incredible. Their whole conversation just made me so happy, because Negan, his redemption arc is one of my favorite parts of the comics. Not that, I think Negan's a good guy or can ever be redeemed for what he did to Glenn and Abraham, but I still want to see him because I still love his character. He's so interesting. He's funny. He's entertaining to watch. Jeffrey Dean Morgan does a great job, so I would love to see more of Negan. Daryl being on his own is very in character. It makes sense. Michonne being just a cold-hearted bitch, I like that. Now you might be wondering, why the hell would I want her to be a bitch? But I don't know. It just fits her character. Not that I think she's a bitch, but she was always kind of that quiet, like, I don't trust you type of a person before she met Rick, right? We knew that in season 3. She was very sneaky, very stealthy, very on her own, very independent, kind of nasty in some ways, kind of a mean person, but that's how she was. Then she met Rick, and Rick, trusted her. Rick, had a bond with her, and then ever since that, she changed completely. She became a good person. She became a leader. She became someone who was going to be like doing all these different things. Not saying she's not, independent on her own, or she's not like a good person on her own, because she can be a good person. She definitely is. But you can tell ever since she lost Rick, she's been kind of a hard ass. Because let's be real here, she was being a bitch to Magna. Not that, because the thing is, she did the same exact shit that Magna did back in Woodbury, like trying to hide weapons, not being trustworthy of new communities. She did the same stuff, and now Magna was doing it, and I understand Magna why she was doing it. So yeah, Michonne was being a little unreasonable, but it's in character, so I'm completely fine with it. Also, I love the new group. I like Magna. We haven't really seen much of Yumiko yet. Luke, I already love Luke. I don't know why. He's just funny to watch. The actor does a great job, I gotta say. Kelly and Connie, it's interesting to see a deaf character in The Walking Dead for sure, but I don't really care that much about them. No offense to them or anything, but they're not interesting to me personally. They might be interesting eventually, I don't know, but they're probably going to be characters that are killed off very soon, probably in the spiked heads. I would assume at least one of them will be. It'd be really weird if Kelly, I think is her name. I forget which one's Kelly and which one's Connie. I keep forgetting. I don't know. But the non-death one, the one that's just the darker chick, I guess you can say. I feel like if she died, she's kind of like a translator for the other one. So it'd be kind of odd if she died and then Connie was, or I think her name's Connie. I think the deaf one's Connie and the other one's Kelly. So then Connie would be on her own, basically. That would be kind of rough. I like them. I like Carol and Henry's scenes together. They were amazing. I love them so much. Oh, and then they saw the Saviors, and the Saviors looked like savages. I love the look of the Saviors. The fact they looked all dirty and gross. They looked a lot more aged than what they were before. And then Carol just relentlessly lights him on fire. Now, this is the only complaint I have about the entirety of this episode, and it's the fact that they didn't show Carol, like, putting the gasoline on them, because I was kind of confused at first. I saw her take the lighter or the cigarette out of his mouth, and I was like, okay, what the hell is she trying to do? She's just standing here. What the hell is she gonna do, right? And then we realized, okay, she put gasoline on the floor, so now she's gonna light them on fire. But, you know, it kind of made me take some time to understand what was going on. I kind of wish they showed Carol actually putting the gasoline all over the place, because tell me, how the hell does she do that without waking anyone up? I would love to know how she did that without waking anyone up. Not that I don't believe she could do it. I think she could. I just don't. I would like to have seen it. You know what I'm saying? Felt like they just skipped around it because they thought it wasn't important. But to me, it felt like it was kind of needed in some way, shape, or form. I love the camera angles in this episode. The camera work was so well done in all the scenes. In some of the Walker killing scenes, just, I don't know what it was, but it was really well done. Like, I don't know who was the director. I'm going to look it up. Amazing job. Amazing job. Then you get the Rosita and Eugene coming across the Whisperers. Amazing. So exciting. I was so pumped to finally see the Whisperers in action. And they were obviously in that herd because we heard them and we saw that they made a U-turn towards Eugene and Rosita. And then they hid and they put the dirt on them. People are like, why the hell they put the dirt on them? I'm pretty sure when you put dirt on you, like, they might not have known this before, but they probably figured it out in the past 6 years, because it's been 6 years. But I'm assuming when you put dirt on you, it kind of masks the scent a little bit. Now, when they put walker guts on themselves, it's to, like, kind of blend in with the other walkers, right? That's what it's for. But think about it. You mask yourself with anything. If you try to do something to make you smell less of a human, they will not notice you as easily, right? It just makes sense. If you have a lot of dirt on you, you're going to smell more like dirt than you do like human. And walkers do rely a little bit on sight, not as much about sight, so they do kind of blend in with the dirt a little bit, I guess. And it helped them out in the long run, because it wasn't just walkers, it was actual people in there. I mean, they don't know that, but they started hearing them, and I'm pretty sure they're going to start thinking they are evolving, and they're starting to speak now. That's what Eugene said in the trailer. Walkers are evolving now, but obviously they're not. We know they're not. Comic book fans know they're not, but they kind of are showing traits of evolving, which is interesting. Yeah, I love this episode, man. I really do. I think it's a really good step in the right direction. Really excited for the rest of the season. I just hate the people saying stuff like, "Oh, finally it's good again," stuff like that. I think it's always been pretty good. I think definitely my biggest complaint with season 7 and 8 is the camera work. I wasn't a big fan of some of the camera work. Remember that. Some of the episodes were incredible, though. They did an incredible job with the camera work. But every now and then we would get an episode in season 7 and 8 where it would be like, I don't know what they were doing there. The directing was kind of off a little bit. Not the writing. I think the writing in season 7 and 8 was almost perfect. Almost. I don't think anything's perfect, though, personally. But season 9 is definitely improving on the camera work, definitely. So that is amazing. I'm really excited for the rest of the season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.